Okay, group in the middle. The first question that I would like to ask you is, who do you think is most responsible for climate change?
So, I think the person, the thing that's most responsible for climate change is humans. I say this because in the article, what goes up must come down. It says climate change, global warming, climate crisis. It all has different names, but they all mean the same thing. The Earth's environment is changing, and we, human beings, are the primary cause. And to emphasize my point, from the Gassy Cows article, I know that humans produce them, and it says that the bulk of emissions, which is technically like the most of the animal of the type of animal is that 55% came from beef cattle. So like but humans breed these beef cattle, and beef cattle fart and poop and make gases go up in the air. Also, in the video games article, which I do not have with me, but in the video games article, it says that video games, most United States households have them, and they will use energy even when when they're just plugged into the wall. Like they could be turned off, but they're still using energy. And most kids don't turn them off; they leave them on, which creates even more energy going into the air. Another thing is, so I learned this from a video. So, cars. So, I think we all in the circle know that cars produce so much CO2. But that also means that the place where it's built produces CO2 to make the cars. And think about this. Somewhere far away, like in China, they make the oil, which produces CO2. Then they use a truck to ship it to the port, which uses CO2. Then they use a boat to ship it across the sea, which uses CO2. Then they use another truck to get to your local gas station, which uses CO2. And then, as if to add, you plug in the thing to put gasoline in your car, which makes a lot of CO2. So it ends up like, just for your one car, you produce like pounds of CO2, tons of CO2. And also, also in this what goes up must come down. So it says that more developed countries release CO2, like China and United States, but also less developed countries where people really farm, they burn large areas of forests, creating CO2 and destroying habitat for other animals, and when they burn their leftover crops every year to get rid of them. And so yeah, that's who I think